The new ECM Synchronica 2 is going to be the best machine in its class, bar none, because of one feature. So let's check it out. G'day mate, I'm Ryan, your coffee coach, and today I want to drool over the new ECM Synchronica 2 that's about to be launched either this month or next month. This is from a company that makes probably one of the best coffee machines in this sort of range here. ECM, they are known for the highest quality machines. Now, that's coming from technicians who work on these machines. They love working on these machines. From the engineers who love to pull apart and mod and change things. Everyone says ECM is by far the highest quality. Now, they're not the cheapest, but that's what you get when you want something of the very best class. And the Synchronica, years ago, had already established itself as one of the best dual boilers in that class, with competing with its sister company, Profitec. But over time, Profitec has brought out better ones like the Drive. And so now ECM is starting to go, well, we need to upgrade this machine and not create a whole new machine, but really just refine what's good about this machine, as well as improve a couple of the things on it. So let's check out some of the features that will really set it apart from the ECM Synchronica 1. And you can decide whether you want to just go ahead and buy the old version or wait until the new one drops and then purchase that instead. First glance, it does look like a replica Synchronica, and you can't really even tell the difference at all. But it has all your standard packed-in features like your PID temperature controller for your boiler and for your steam. It's the exact same size as the original Synchronica. You have your two big pressure gauges, your cool touch steam ones, and the water is obviously really easily accessible from the top of the machine. It also comes with two portafilters, your single spouted and your double spouted. And this is probably one of my little gripes about it, is that in this day and age, a single spouted portafilter is really superfluous, because most people want a naked portafilter, which is essentially the same thing as a single spouted portafilter anyway, but you can put in any size basket into it, and then you can watch that gorgeous extraction and just drool over it, rather than have it coming out of a dinky one-sided spout. Plus, when you have a one spout, it's much harder to tamp because it's a little bit awkward that it doesn't sit flat on the table. And yes, they have ergonomically designed these, just like the Synchronica, to have nice angled portafilters, so it makes it easier to tamp, but why not just have a naked one instead and get rid of the single spout? I don't know. The drip tray looks beautiful, and they've put that anthracite sort of finishing on there, which I really love about the ECM machines. I think that anthracite finish, it's sort of like sparkly and charcoaly, and it just makes it look super luxe. And now their grinder is completely covered in it. So I really love where they're going here. And they've put that around the bottom of the drip tray. And if you take out the bottom of the drip tray, you can see underneath there is a blind portafilter hanging underneath there. But the sacrifice is that the drip tray isn't very deep, and so you are going to have to empty that out. So on the surface, yes, it looks very much just like a regular Synchronica. And you're thinking, well, why would I wait to buy virtually the same machine? Well, there's one huge difference, and that's when you look closer at it, that is the little display that you see down there, because it used to be just an LED lights with some buttons pressing them down. And now it's this OLED display which shows you so many different things, and a really lovely tactile knob that you can push and pull. So no more dinking around with the up and down buttons of the awkward old display that used to be there. Now everything can be controlled directly through this little display and the knob. So you can give your knob a good twist and a pull and a push and a poke all throughout your coffee experience in the morning, if you like. And of course, if you'd like to see this knob here talk more about coffee videos, then please tap that like, tap that subscribe button. Let's get this video out to as many people around the world. And maybe ECM might even send me one over so that I can play with it and do a deep dive in the future for you guys. And then hopefully, if we agree, they might even give it away. But also, I want to hear, do you think that you'll hold out for this machine if you're ready to pull the trigger? Or do you think you're just going to go ahead and buy the ECM Synchronica 1 version, which is still great in its own right? I'd love to know your thoughts, because I would probably personally hold out for it just so I can get that knob and play with it. But I want to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment in the section below. Now, I didn't mention this, but one of the key features is their active and passive pre-infusion. So if you're wanting to take your coffee experience to the next level and really play around with different things, then the active and passive pre-infusion is really going to allow you to do that and extract different types of flavors from your coffee. So passive pre-infusion is actually just wetting your puck. So it just puts all the water on there without any pressure. And then active pre-infusion is actively putting pressure onto the puck, but not full pressure, but maybe 2 or 3 bars or whatever your mains pressure is. And the different combinations of this active and passive pre-infusion will enhance acidity, will enhance body, will sacrifice body, or will dampen body, will create more sweetness in the cup. You'll really be able to play around with this if you want to. For a lot of you, it probably will be overkill, but if you want to, this machine is really there to take your coffee to that next level. And the display will also remind you when it's time to clean the machine, and you can set that to however many shots you want to go through it. I think right up to 200 shots. It also will tell you when your machine needs the filter changed, and then you can set on that how many liters of water you want to go through the filter that sits inside your reservoir. So that's really handy as well, because you don't have to worry about it once you set it. But then it will pop up with a little reminder saying time to change your filter, and that will make sure that you keep your water nice and clean and not building up too much scale. And you can even set the schedule for when your coffee machine turns on in the morning and when it turns off, and I think again for the afternoon as well. So that makes it really handy if you just want to get up and make your coffee straight away. You don't have to wait around like a traditional E61 machine 30, 45 minutes before it's really ready to make a proper coffee. However, that might not even be necessary, because the one feature that I think sets this apart from every other machine is the massive improvements they've done on the time to heat. So now, if you want to, you can have the espresso portion of the boiler heat up in under 7 minutes. So if you just want to have an espresso and not worried about the latte art straight away, then you can just set it to turn off the steam boiler, have it focus all its power on heating your espresso boiler, as well as heating your group head, so that it's super quick, super ready to go. And then if you want to, you can always turn on the steam a little bit afterwards, because that's super easy just from the little display. But one thing that always bothers me about E61 type machines and their design is if you can make steam ones that are cool touch, why can't you make group heads that are cool touch? It just feels like there's got to be a way. Now, if you're an engineer and you're watching this video, please put a comment in the section below, because I'd love to know why no one has been able to insulate the group head enough so that you don't burn out of your hand every time you reach across to grab your milk or something across the top of the machine. Because we have all the technology in the world, yet the only way to stop people from burning themselves is to completely encase the group head so that you don't actually touch it. And it's one thing that they won't show you on any of the advertising models, is that there's actually a sticker that sits around the top that says, "Warning, we'll burn you to death if you touch this." Even if you have the steam boiler turned on, it's still only going to take 10 to maybe 12 minutes for this machine to be fully ready to go, which is unbelievably fast. And most of you people out there, even if you have the better technology with the newer E61 machines, you're still waiting 15, maybe 20 minutes for your coffee to be ready. So it's really up to you if this is a big feature, but I think this is a huge advancement in the technology, and I can't wait to see where it leads to from here. Just means super, super fast speed up times so that you can get your coffee quicker in the morning, because everyone knows no one wants to talk to you before you've had your coffee. Well, that's what my wife always says. Now, the one thing that's missing from this that is on the Profitec drives is this flow meter. Whilst that's not the be all and end all, you can actually get a flow meter installed into it. I would have liked to have seen, for this price point, a little bit just them adding this flow meter standard into the machine. And that really just allows you to play around with the flow of the water into your puck. It just gives you an extra level of variables to play with, because I think people who are really into this machine are wanting to play around with their extractions a little bit more than your standard stock type machine at home. But maybe ECM recognized that only a small portion of their market want this machine, And so they invested all their research dollars into the other areas of the machine to make it that superb quality that we've come to know and love about ECM. And maybe that's why they skipped out on the flow meter. Still, for around $3,000 US or 5,500 Australian, this machine is super nice. And if you're a gearhead and you want to see more about this, Welter & Welter have done a fantastic video, deep dive, 30-minute deep dive, taking the machine apart, showing you all the components, showing you how it works, going really deep into this machine, much more than I can go into. So go check them out. They're a great little YouTube channel. It's in German, but you can always get it translated into English anyway. And they know their stuff. If you're an engineer and you want to sink your teeth into something like this, then go check them out and say hi and tell them I sent you. Anyway, I hope you love these style of videos. I'm really excited to look at all of these new machines coming out. And that's just the beginning, because there's going to be plenty more coming up in 2025. And if you haven't already seen my other videos, go check them out. I'm Ride, your coffee coach. And as always, enjoy your brew.